And hello YouTube, this is GSmaniamsmart, and I'm in a brand new video for tutorials of GS. Today's tutorial, we're actually going to be answering a comment that I got a day or two ago about how to create an end slide or an end card. They're named several things. For the end of your YouTube videos, you know how I usually have my end card listing all my other channels and my usual outro. In fact, here is the one for the tutorials channel. Let's go to open. This is the one that I currently use, and the question was, how do you create something like this? Now, there are several different types of end cards or end slides. They have image end cards and end slides. I don't know what word. I'm going to just use end card from now on. They have image end cards, which are basically these right here, where you just design this in Photoshop or in GIMP, and then you add this to the end of your video and just add the annotations on top. They also have video end cards where they have a background, and then they'll have like a room for a video that's playing, and you can click that video and then play the video. However, that's going to take a designing program and a video editing program, and we'll go over that a little more in depth later. And they also have a video end card, which everything is completely all video. There's barely any images in the end card, where you basically have a background of a video, and I'll show you some examples or try to give you an example later on. But what we're going to be working with is a very simple image end card like this. I do know how to create the other end cards. They just, they take a lot of rendering time, and they take longer to make and a lot more detailed. However, if some of you are interested in creating a video end card or a video slash image end card, whatever you want, you can leave it in the comments below, and I'll definitely create a tutorial for you guys. But let's go ahead and try to see if we can recreate this. We're not going to be able to recreate it 100% because some of these elements, such as this 3D text up here, I did with Photoshop, and I want to stay with GIMP because I know a lot of people don't have Photoshop. So we're going to be working with GIMP, and we're basically going to try to recreate this, or basically give you an idea of how to create it. Now, the first thing you want to do is open up GIMP, and you want to create a new document. Now, the thing with this is you want to pick a document size, the same size that you're rendering your videos in. If you're rendering your videos in 1280 by 720, then make that your size. If you're rendering your video in 1920 by 1080, then make that your size. I'm going to be rendering in 1920 by 1080, so that's going to be my size. Whatever size you're rendering, you want to go ahead and use that. Now, when you have that done, the first thing you want to do is, okay, what do I want to have in my background? Do I want to have a texture in my background? Do I want to have, a picture of a beach in my background? Do I want to have a picture of, the video game that I'm playing in my background? What do you want to have in your background? Most end cards usually just have a texture in the background. And as you see in mine here, I have a texture. This is the texture that I use for my end card. However, there are several end cards that some people make where they actually have, for example, let me just drag this in. So we're just going to drag our texture in, and I'll explain a little bit what I meant to say just right now. But anyway, whatever your background is, you want to have, whatever background you want to have in your picture, you want to go ahead and just drag it in here as a new layer. And then we're just going to go ahead and scale it up some so that it covers all of our picture. And just like that, if you want to zoom into the top to see if there's some white space, which there is here, you can do so. Alright, so there is our texture. Now, as I was saying earlier, some people like to create end cards without any texture. For example, if they're playing, a Minecraft game, then sometimes they'll have, a picture of Minecraft here, of like, maybe their house on one side. Let me just sort of draw it. My drawing is going to be terrible, but it's just an example. Hopefully you can follow the example. What some people would do if they're playing Minecraft, they'll take like a picture of like Minecraft, and this will be like the Minecraft grass, right? And this will just be a screenshot. I mean, you could just take a simple screenshot, and then they'll have their house standing off in the side here. Right? They'll have their house standing off on the side here, and then they'll use this area right here, which is just gonna be like, it'll just be the grass in the sky and maybe some mountains in the background, and they'll just use this area to link their stuff. They'll have one of their channels here, they'll have social media here at the bottom or whatever, You know, so you don't need to just use a texture. You can take a screenshot of something, or you can put any picture. You can put a picture of the moon in the background, of the sky and the moon. It doesn't really matter. But you want to have a background where, you know, either a texture, an image, a screenshot, something. So anyway, we're going to be doing a texture. And the next thing that we're going to do is, as you'll see in my picture over here, and I'm going to keep this open so we can keep referencing back to it. What I decided to do is add a spotlight in the middle of my end card, so just to give it more life. And the way we do that is we're going to go up to filters. So we're going to go to filters, light and shadow, and you want to use lighting effects here. And you'll see then here you can go ahead and sort of try to find the center of your image if you want to have it in the center. I mean, if you're gonna have an object, if you're gonna have like an object here on the left side, you know, like I don't know, like a character or you know something here on the left side, then you're gonna have this space obviously, and you may want to put your may want to put your spotlight like somewhere here, but we're not gonna have anything extra there, so we're just gonna go add our spotlight in the center, or try to get it as best as possible in the center. And then here you can adjust your distance, and that can sometimes help to center it. And we're going to try to make this lower the glow down a bit. And you know, just play around with these settings and see what you like right around there. All these settings do something different, but when we click OK here, now we'll actually, once it finishes loading at the bottom, now you actually have a somewhat of a spotlight created on your texture here. Now you can make this a lot better so that the spotlight is more pronounced, so you have like a circular spotlight, and over here some shadows more. But you gotta play with the distance a little bit and all that. Now that we have our background here, we can go ahead and add things that we want to, you know, show on our background. And the first thing I'm going to add is my 3 other channels. So we're just going to grab the, and actually oh no, I'm not missing anything. So I have my 3 channels here that I created, my 3 channel logos, and we're just going to drag them in like that. And the next part is simply just resizing, you know, to a reasonable value, perhaps something like 200. And you want to make sure you want to make sure these chains are put together so that you're actually, and why is it not doing that for me? So these values automatically adjust like that. So 200 is a bit too small. Let's go with something like maybe 400. Okay, 400 works. Maybe it's a bit big, but let's put it down to 350. And then you can simply just redo those same values over here. Scale that, and then scale that as well. And all I'm doing is clicking each layer and using the scale tool here to click and then lower the value. So then you can go ahead and bring these down here. If you want to use your ruler tool up here to, you know, perfectly align them, then you can do so as well. And if you want to like make them exactly pixels apart, you can do that too. Now if you ever want to move all 3 of these layers, you can go and lock all these layers together by using the lock key here, and then you can move them all together. You don't need to move one by one anymore. It's a great little feature GIMP has. So now that we have that done, we may need to move them a little down more. So we can get rid of our ruler now. We may need to move them a little down more. Maybe here you want to use your arrow keys instead. Right around there. And if we go back to our reference here. Okay. So the next thing you can do is, if you want, you can start adding the text to the bottom here, like, you know, you can put music, advice, gaming if you want. But what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna fill everything out first. I'm gonna fill my end card. I'm gonna add text last. So next thing I want is my main channel. Obviously, I'm gonna add my main channel here. Now see, my main channel is very big. This is the banner that I actually have in my main channel, and it's very big. We don't want it this big. So what we're gonna do is scale it down also, and we're gonna scale it down to maybe 600. How does that look? No, a little bigger. We want to have a width of maybe 900 width. Oh, it didn't work there for some strange reason. There we go, that's better. But we don't want, there's too much of this bottom area here, so an easy way to fix that will just be to, you can actually grab your rectangle tool here, and whatever you don't want, you can just do that, and then click the delete key. Maybe we want it a little lower. The delete key here, and same up here. And the delete key there. Actually, maybe like that. And like I said, we're not gonna be able to replicate this exactly, but you know, I just want to show you the methods and the tools that I've used, so you can sort of get an idea. So then we have that there. And now the next thing you want to add is, if you have any social media stuff, then you know it's a very simple process of just going in and dragging stuff into your background here. If you get some white areas like that, you can simply just use your magic wand tool up here and make sure that your layer is set to transparency, add alpha. And then you can simply just do this, take those off. With your magic wand tool, you go in each corner. And then, you know, the same thing you did on the, if you have a obviously I use different icons, but if you have a Google Plus, you also put that there. I don't think I have a Google Plus icon, do we? Oh no, I didn't get that one. I did not get my Google Plus icon. Oh well. But if you have Google Plus, you want to put your Google Plus here too. But once again, we want to resize this. We want to make sure everything looks nice and even. Grab our scale tool again. And this time we're going to scale this maybe 150. We don't need these to be too big. 150 should do. And you know, there's several different versions of these icons. You can just Google them. You can Google Facebook logo PNG or Twitter logo PNG. And when you type in PNG, they're probably going to give you a logo that doesn't have. And why is this not adjusting? They're probably going to give you a logo that doesn't have any white background. So we have that. Obviously, if you have more than 3, or more than just 2 here, you want to make these smaller and you know, try to fit them in this area here at the bottom, or you know, whatever you want to put them. It doesn't really make a difference. It all depends on you. I'm just showing how I did it, sort of. Because we only have 2 right now, because I don't have the Google Plus logo, I'm just gonna size them like this. So just imagine I don't have a Google Plus, right? Just imagine I don't have one. Now, the next thing we want to do is add our subscribe button. And did I not add my subscribe button? No, I did not add a subscribe button. Well, we'll just get it quickly off of Google. I guess I can show you guys here how you can subscribe button and then PNG. And when you type in PNG, you'll see that you will get these actual button things, and you could pick any of these subscribe buttons really. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick this one, and we're just gonna drag it in here. What's this saying? There's already a file. Is already copy and replace. Don't copy. Oh, I see. Because I'm just gonna rename this tweet, whatever, right? Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and drag this in here, and so there we have our subscribe button now, and we can drag it in here now, make sure that this layer is all the way to the top. And once again, if you have this a white area at the bottom, you can easily take it out with the magic wand tool Great tool. And now I want to scale it down. As you see, is we're getting this is pretty much a pattern here where you're just adding stuff in, scaling it down to your liking, and making sure things look good on your little end card here. So we're gonna go ahead and scale it down. If you want to scale down like this and keep the aspect ratios, then you want to hold Shift, and when you hold Shift, the aspect ratio will stay the same. So that looks a little too big. I want to have it a little wider, maybe. That was awkward. A little wider. That looks awkward though if you make it wide. Alright, we'll just keep it like this then. I mean, if you want to look for a different subscribe button, you can. And after that, we're going to add, well, our main logo here. I don't know if I have enough room, but now the thing with this is I created all of my logos. Well, I created these simple logos I created in GIMP, but a lot of this stuff I created in Photoshop. So what you'll see, and let me just actually open this up as a new image. Alright, so as you can see, I have my layers over here. And all I want is just this right here. So I can just cut, Control X, and then Control V as a new layer. Now, as you see, like, if you don't have a lot of this stuff done already, like if you don't have logos created, if you don't have like channels created, or if you don't have any of your other designs created, like if you don't have a logo created, how are you gonna like do this? You need to have some of these stuff you need to have created already. So that's why, if you have the logos created, then it should be pretty easy. So maybe we're actually gonna make this a little bigger. Actually, maybe like that. Now, if you look on my if you look on this right here, you see I have this tutorials with GS here. Now, I created this 3D text in Photoshop, so I'm not gonna be able to like exactly have this, but we can just create a text layer, and we're gonna make this size 50, actually a little bigger, maybe size 100. Yeah, it says 100. Tutorials, and if we want to have it behind, actually, do we want to have it behind? No. And we're just gonna go ahead and grab our rotate tool here. This is our perspective tool. Our rotate tool is here. Grab our rotate tool here. And we're gonna change, oh, I forgot, you have to change font first. You can't rotate and then change font. Alright, so I'm gonna move this over here, and we're just gonna find a cool font. So I want to go something bold. That looks pretty cool. We're just gonna make this 120, like so. Now we can rotate this like so. And if you want to add a stroke around this, we can go right click the layer, alpha to selection, select, and grow this by 1 pixel, and make a new layer. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our paint bucket tool. We can have like a stroke around there. And then we're going to have our last layer that says with GS, and I don't like that G, so we're actually going to find a different font. Now you can get as creative as you want with this, really. As you see, you can do anything really. And that's a little too big, so we're gonna change this down to back to 100, like so. That S, does that S? I kind of want this to be I don't want this to be primary text, so we're gonna put down to 75. That's fine. And then we're gonna rotate it again, like so. And if we want to add a black stroke, same thing, alpha to selection. We're going to grow it by 1. And as I'm doing this, if I'm going a little too fast, this is a tutorial that you need to have some GIMP skills. I mean, if I honestly sit here and explain every little thing I'm doing here, how to create a stroke, how to rotate your fonts, how to scale down things. I mean, I have separate tutorials on how to do all those things, I'm hoping that those of you who are watching this have some design skill already. I mean, if you don't, then I highly recommend you to look at my other videos. I just don't, I just don't see it. I don't see it as a good idea to just go over everything I'm doing here, because some people actually do have design skills and they just want to know how to do this. So if I'm going over how to create a stroke, then maybe they're gonna be like, I already know how to do this. So why are you going over this? It's not a video on how to create a stroke. It's a video on how to create an end card. So I'm hoping that some of you who are watching this already have like these skills how to create a stroke. But if you don't, you can always pause the video and like slow down and see what I'm doing. I do apologize though. Like, I don't want to make this focus of the video on how to do certain things. I'm doing this. So now that we have that, as you see, I mean, it looks pretty cool, right? I mean, we don't have the cool 3D text here, but I mean, I honestly wouldn't mind using this. Like, this looks pretty cool. I like this. I like it. So after that, as you see, with a bunch of layers here, I mean, the reason why we want to work with layers is that so we can change everything. If we want to move something, we can move things. You can easily just move your text even. Make sure that you're moving all of your text layers. So all of our text layers are here. Lock them all together. And then, you could simply just move them all like so. Oh, we actually locked our logo too. But you can move it around like that. GIMP makes it very easy to move multiple layers around the lock tool here. But after that, all we need to do is really add our white text, and we want to go add it to our background here. So what did I type here? Original channel, right? Original channel, and we can change this to white if we wanted to. Once again, you could add a black stroke around this if you wanted to, right? And then down here we have music, and like we did before, you could align this perfectly as well. I mean, here I aligned everything perfectly. I center aligned everything. I made it very, I try to make everything very equal, but I'm not going to do that in this video because that's a matter of just moving things around. It's not too difficult, right? What happened there? Why did our text layer wasn't large enough, wide enough? Alright, so then we have that. And then we're just going to go ahead and make that white. And then we have that. And like so. And all you really got to do is, whatever well, for me, it's going to be, make sure you're working on your background layer. Now you see, when you run into a problem like this, you may think to yourself, okay, I need more room. So you may need to like lower the size of these maybe and move these to the left. It's a matter of really resizing things and moving them around. I mean, let's just pretend that my Facebook is, GS Games, right? Because I don't want to like move everything around again. And then, pretty simple stuff here. And we could duplicate this layer. And then I hate when the GIMP does that. And then move that down. And from here, you would pretty much be done. Like, this would be your end card. And then all you'd have to do is save this as a PNG file and drop this into a video editor like Premiere Pro or Movie Maker or Sony Vegas. When you drop this in, you can just have it at the end of your video, make it as long as you want. If you want to have this 10 seconds, 20 seconds, you just, stretch it out. And then when you're on YouTube, you just add your annotations here. And if you want to see how to do that, I'll show you guys how to do that real quick. We're actually going to go to my YouTube channel real quick, and we'll show you how that goes. And we're on our tutorials channel already. Perfect. So we go to my channel here, and we go to Video Manager. And say you just finished uploading your video. You want to go over here to Annotations, and you want to go to the end, and right before you see here's a transition, you want to pause it there, and then all you want to do is click Add Annotation and add a spotlight. And then you can go ahead and move the spotlight around, and you basically just want to, and you can go in full screen here, you basically just want to make sure the spotlight is around your pictures, like so, and then like that, right? Make sure it's around your picture. And then you want to go to link, and then you could link your channel here, and then you could also specify how long you want the spotlight to last, obviously to the end of the video. So here you would put, we're going to start at 12:55, so 55, and we want to end it at 13:33, which it already ends. And you basically do the same thing with all these. But I already have one. Did I just delete that one? Oh, I'm not going to save it, so I'm not going to save it. But then when you go back to the video, and we're going to go to the video real quick. When you go to the end here, then we're able to click these things. So it's a mixture of creating, it's a mixture of designing, it's a mixture of using annotations on YouTube, and that's basically how you create an end card. Like I said, if you want to, it can get a lot more complex, especially if you're, for example, if you don't have a lot of channels, like this wouldn't be, that great for you. But if you want to link like a specific video, you can do the same thing. You can just do this. You can just do something like this. Where is it? What do we want to take off? We want to take off this, this, and this, and we want to take off. Like say you only have one channel. Say this is your channel right here, and if you want to link videos here at the bottom, you can do the same thing. What you would do then is just drag this into Premiere Pro or Sony Vegas, and you can't do this with Windows Movie Maker. So if you're trying to put a video here that plays, you can't do it in Movie Maker. But what you can do, however, is you can take a screenshot of, for example, say I want to show this video right here, right? Here I'm creating a GIMP splash screen actually. And so what you can do is you can go to full screen here, right? And wait till everything goes away, make sure the title goes away. And when you have it in full screen, you can take a screenshot. You can press the PRNTSC button on your keyboard, and then you can paste it here, Control V. And then what you can do is you can scale this down like so. Oops. You want to make sure this is hold shift down here. You can scale it down, and then you can actually have it like so, or you can even make this a little smaller if you wanted to. It depends on you, how big you want this, right? And then at the bottom here you could say my last video on how to create a splash screen. But there's several ways of doing this. If you don't have if you don't know how to do it in Premiere Pro or Sony Vegas, and if you want to know how to do it, I'll show you guys another tutorial. You can leave a comment. But you can also do it like this, and then you can add an annotation around here to your video. But like I said, if you know how to, if you want to do it an actual video, you want to have the video actually playing here, like some people do have the video actually playing here, you have to do that in Premiere Pro. And what you got to do is put this into Premiere Pro, just save this and put this into Premiere Pro or Sony Vegas, and then you want to add the actual video file here and scale it down and then let it play. But if you want to know how to do that, I'll show you another tutorial. And the last end card you can also do is just do all video. So what you would do is you would actually have, all this, you would have just this, but in the background you would have a video playing, like, you know, if you want to have like you know, the waves, if you want to have a beach and the waves are like coming up and down the shore, and then you would have this on top of the beach video. I can show you guys how to do that too if you want. You know, just leave it in the comments. But you know, I just wanted to show you guys a simple, basic end card, end slide with just images, and this is basically how you do it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you got confused along the way, you know, I don't know if it was a good idea in treating this video as if, you know, you guys knew design. I mean, I didn't want to make this video about how to add a stroke or how to rotate stuff or, you know, how to create a logo. I mean, if you want to know how to do those things, you can leave it in the comments. You know, anything you got confused on in this video, leave it in the comments. I'll answer your questions. If it's something huge, I'll make a video on it. But hopefully you find it helpful. Hopefully it helped you out. And you know, just be creative with it. This is really a creative project, and I love making end cards. I want to make more dynamic end cards. I mean, this is actually how some movie menus are also made, just like this, but they have videos usually. But you know, it's a pretty cool thing to add to your videos, and it really helps your audience get engaged. You know, they have other channels, they know that you're asking them to subscribe, and it makes your video look a lot more professional, organized. But that's pretty much it, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video helped you out in any way. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It'll really help me out. If you didn't like it, you can leave a comment as well, giving some feedback. If you have any other comments or questions, please leave them in the comments as well, and I'll do my best to answer them. I usually respond to comments within 24 to 48 hours, depending on your question and depending on how busy I am. I have plenty of other content on my channel about different software tutorials and how-to videos, so if you're interested in that type of stuff, check it out. And if you like what you're seeing, you can subscribe too. Really appreciate it. You can also check out my other channels and social media as shown on the screen right now. And with that, thank you so much, everyone. And this is GSmaniamsmart, and I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.